1 week ago, G. Hackman, his wife Betsy Arakawa, and one of their dogs were found dead in their 9,000-square-foot home in Santa Fe. Gene Hackman was one of 3 million Americans who had pacemakers put in their hearts. After Gene Hackman's mysterious death, his son finally broke his silence and told shocking details about his father's last days. What really happened in Hackman's last moments were their hidden struggles that no one knew about. The truth is finally coming out about Gene Hackman, the Hollywood legend. Hackman was one of Hollywood's most famous and versatile actors, and his life off-screen was just as interesting as it was on. With a career spanning more than 5 decades, Hackman left an indelible mark on the film industry, winning 2 Academy Awards, 4 Golden Globes, and a reputation as one of the greatest actors of his generation. But Akira Hackman's personal life, especially his relationship with his wife Betsy Arakawa, was a source of stability and quiet happiness. Born on January 30, 1930, Hackman grew up in San Bernardino, California. His parents divorced when he was a teenager, and he left home at 16 to join the Marine Corps. After his service, Hackman studied acting at the Pasadena Playhouse with other aspiring actors like Dustin Hoffman. His big break came in 1967 with Bonnie and Clyde, where he played Buckbarrow and won critical acclaim. This set the stage for a story career that lasted through the 1970s and 1980s, during which Hackman became a household name. Hackman won his first Oscar for his role in The French Connection. By the 1990s, he had solidified his status as a Hollywood legend with unforgettable performances in Unforgiven, The Firm, and The Royal Tenenbaums. Despite his fame, Hackman was always a private person who avoided the trappings of celebrity culture. This preference for privacy extended to his relationships with other people. His personal life. Hackman was married to his first wife, Faye Maltese, from 1956 to 1986. They had 3 children together, Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie. Even though Hackman's job kept him busy, he tried to balance his work and personal life so that he could be there for his family. However, his marriage to Maltese ended in divorce, and he didn't find love again until 1991. When he met Betsy Arakawa, a flight attendant and pianist who was a lot younger than Hackman. They moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and lived a quiet, low-key life. Hackman, who retired from acting in 2004, spent most of his time writing novels and spending time with his wife. Hackman was a devoted husband to Aroa, and he also kept close ties with his children, who remained an important part of his life, even after he left the public eye. Hackman's decision to stop acting was a conscious one, and he talked openly about what it's like to get older in Hollywood and want to leave the, quote, in retirement. He took things more slowly and enjoyed hobbies like painting and writing. Arakawa was always there for him during this time, sharing his interests and helping him figure out life after the camera. His marriage to Betsy Arakawa was a big part of his life after Hollywood, giving him the peace and happiness that fame alone could never give him. Together, they built a life full of love, creativity, and quiet joy, showing the power of partnership both on and off the screen. Before we talk about what the Hollywood star's son had to say about his late father, let's talk about the couple's mysterious death and how people reacted to it. On February 26, 2025, the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Department responded to a distressing scene at the home of legend reactor. Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa were found dead. Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa were found dead in Santa Fe, New Mexico. A maintenance worker had noticed an open door and what seemed like a lack of activity inside. When police arrived, they found the bodies of Hackman and Arakawa, along with a dead dog. The disturbing circumstances of the discovery have led to an ongoing investigation. Hackman was found fully clothed in the mudroom near the kitchen, while Arakawa was found on her side in the bathroom next to a space heater. One of their dogs was also found dead. 2 other people were found alive in the house, but the bodies were in a very advanced state of decomposition. Partial mummification could be seen in Araki's hands and feet, which led police to believe the couple had been dead for a long time before they were found. There were no signs of forced entry or struggle, which ruled out a break-in, but other details raised questions. For example, an open bottle of prescription drugs was found on a counter, and pills were scattered on the floor nearby. Arakawa's death, the fact that there was a space heater nearby and no signs of carbon monoxide poisoning at first, added to the mystery. The open door and the fact that no valuables were missing or damaged added another layer of mystery. Autopsies and toxicology tests have been ordered to find out the exact causes of death. Investigators are trying to figure out whether substances were used on purpose or by accident. The results will also help set a timeline of events, even though no external factors were found. The body's advanced decomposition has made the investigation more difficult. Police are carefully gathering forensic evidence and talking to neighbors and acquaintances to piece together the couple's last days. The public's reaction to Hackman's death was one of deep respect and admiration. Fans and co-workers paid tribute to the actor, whose amazing performances cemented his reputation as one of Hollywood's greatest talents. Clint Eastwood, who directed Hackman in Unforgiven, called him one of the Arakawa, who was less well known, was remembered as a devoted partner who shared Hackman's desire for a quiet, private life. While details about how Hackman's children and ex-wife were involved in the investigation remain private, they have been told of the tragic discovery. During this difficult time, the family has asked for privacy. The deaths of Hackman and Arakawa have had a profound effect, not only because of the mysterious circumstances of their deaths, but also because of the loss of a Hollywood legend. As the investigation continues, the police are being very careful and making sure that every detail is looked at. The autopsies and forensic analysis results will be very important in finding the truth about what happened. The deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Araki have left a hole in the hearts of fans and family members, both because of how tragic and mysterious their deaths were and because of the legacy they left behind. As investigators work to find the truth, the world thinks about the even though their death is still a mystery, the couple's legacy lives on as a reminder of the beauty of a well-lived life, on and off the screen. Stay with us as we look at G. Hackman's relationship with his children before we read what his family had to say about it. Gene Hackman's relationship with his children was a deeply personal and often private part of his life, showing how committed he was to family despite the demands of his famous career. According to an article from the 2000s in the Irish Independent, Hackman put his family first even as he became famous. He had 3 children with his first wife, Faye Malty: Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie. Hackman often talked about how hard it was to balance his career with fatherhood, admitting that his work sometimes took him away from home for long periods of time, but he made a point of being present in his children's lives and making sure they felt loved and supported. Hackman's own difficult childhood, which included his parents' divorce and leaving home young, made him determined to give his kids stability. He once said, "I didn't want my children to experience the kind of uncertainty I felt growing up." In a 2012 interview with GQ magazine, Hackman talked more about his relationship with his children, showing a more introspective side to his parenting journey. His career was rewarding, but it took time away from his family life. "There were times when I wasn't there for them as much as I should have been, and that's something I've had to come to terms with," he said. Despite these regrets, Hackman's children have spoken highly of their father, calling him a loving and supportive figure. Christopher, Hackman's oldest son, said in an interview that Hackman was a hands-on dad who encouraged his kids to follow their dreams, even if they didn't fit with what he wanted them to do. Following the deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa in February 2025, the Hackman family released heartfelt statements honoring the late actor and reflecting on his legacy as both a Hollywood icon and a devoted father. Hackman's children shared their memories of their father, giving a glimpse into the man behind the legendary performances. Among the tributes, his eldest son Christopher's words stood out as a poignant and deeply moving tribute. There have been rumors that Christopher Hackman, in a statement to the press, called his father a man of quiet strength and unwavering integrity. "My dad was a complicated person, but at his core, he was someone who cared deeply about his family," Christopher said that even when his career kept him busy, he always made sure we knew how much he loved us. He was my hero not because of the awards or fame he had, but because of the way he lived his life with humility, kindness, and a relentless work ethic. Christopher Hackman's children, Elizabeth and Leslie Hackman, also paid tribute to their father. Echoing Christopher's words about how devoted he was to his family, Elizabeth called Hack a gentle giant who balanced his Little Mermaid career with a deep commitment to his loved ones. He was the kind of dad who would sit with you for hours listening to your problems and giving you advice without judgment, she said. He had this amazing ability to make you feel seen and heard no matter what was going on in his own life. Her father's playful side by telling stories of family vacations and impromptu dance parties in the living room, he had this amazing sense of humor and could make us laugh even on the toughest days, she said. We're going to miss him more than words can express. Hackman's family also thanked fans and co-workers for their support after his death in response to different theories about how they died so suddenly. Stressing that the family has decided to wait for official toxicology results before coming to any conclusions, he said, "That will tell us everything." He also said, "I don't want to speculate. It's easy to speculate negative theories." Tim also said that the family is trying to stay positive during this time of uncertainty, saying, "The family wants to keep it positive for now, and when we know the truth, we'll deal with it as the Hackman family mourns the loss of." They find comfort in remembering a man who was just as great at home as he was on screen, their beloved father and wife. Hackman's legendary performances and unwavering dedication to his craft cemented his place in Hollywood history. His son's touching tribute reminds us that behind the legendary performances was a man loved by his family. Even though he has died, Hackman will always be remembered through his unforgettable movies and cherished memories. Many questions remain unanswered. Was there more to his last days than the public knows? As his son talks out, new information may come to light, but will it put the puzzle to rest or make it even more mysterious? What do you think really happened? Tell us in the comments and click on the cards on the screen for more updates.